My name is John Koyle. I'm in my 24th year as a financial advisor. I started my career with D.A. Davidson, was with them for 10 years, and then almost 15 years ago, Trent and I went independent and started Red Cedar Wealth Advisors. I was raised in Gooding, Idaho. I am the second of 12 children, all from the same parents. My family farmed there. I went to school at Utah State University where I finished a degree in finance. I am an accredited investment fiduciary. I have a clean U4. I've never had any kind of complaint, lawsuit, judgment against me of any kind. I run a very clean business. I have 4 kids that range in age from 17 up to 24. 2 of my kids are married. I love the outdoors. I especially enjoy horses, and my kids high school rodeoed. I like to team rope. I do that competitively. This is my oldest boy, who's now 24, and I on 2 horses that were really special to our family. There's a tractor that I actually won team roping with my 4 kids there, and a little dog we called Shooter. My daughter Ava and I sitting on a team rope and steer, and this is me in competition down in Utah. And this will tell you a little bit more about who John Koyle is. I think that I'm a very empathetic person. I like to be there for people when they go through hard things. People have been there for me as I've gone through hard things. And this is something that I keep in my office to remind me of that. I became a financial advisor because I was intrigued by capital markets. I was interested in how different asset classes performed in different economic environments. And then early in my journey as an advisor, I became interested in helping people make decisions while they worked that they wouldn't regret in retirement. Much of that was making sure people took as much risk as they could, and also making sure people didn't take any more risk than they were comfortable with, and then trying to balance that with current economic environment. That's a very interesting challenge, and that's kept me in the business. A niche that I have in our office is working with people involved in agriculture. People in ag face unique challenges. I like to communicate with clients at their level of expertise, even if that means we begin with a beginner's mindset. I try to minimize jargon and speak to them on their level. I'm intrigued by people. I like to listen. Genuinely, I do. I'm curious about people, about what makes them tick, what makes them feel different emotions. So if someone is anxious as markets are falling, how do we combat that and prepare them for a rebound? If someone is euphoric as markets rise, how do I address that, knowing full well that markets are going to decline? And at the end of the day, whether we're talking about a single mom in her 30s or an elderly couple in their 80s, they each pose unique challenges, and those are challenges that I enjoy because I like to learn about people. We understand the most foundational building blocks of good financial management, and we understand the most advanced concepts and principles. And sometimes markets are simple and sometimes markets are complex. Asset classes can be very, very complex. If you want to do a good job at this on your own, you should prepare for the idea that this is going to be the second job. That's the best reason to have a financial advisor. Second to that, I would say that it's easy to do the exact wrong thing at the wrong time. So I believe in buying low and selling high, and that sounds really simple, but it's actually quite complicated to do because it means as asset classes are rising, you need to be prepared to take less risk. And as asset classes are falling, you need to be prepared to take more risk, and that can be very difficult to do. So if you'll allow me to be a member of your team, I believe we can be much more successful at executing there. If you're going to work with me as a financial advisor, there are several things that I can promise you. I can promise you that I'm going to be transparent. You're going to know what I'm charging you. I'm also going to be accountable. So we're going to meet face to face. We're going to talk over the phone on a regular basis, and you're going to know exactly how your assets are performing. And we're going to compare that performance to a plan. Are we generating the kind of returns that we planned on? Then the last thing is that I'm going to approach this relationship as a fiduciary. So I'm going to work to minimize or eliminate conflicts of interest that can be inherent in this relationship. You're paying me for a service. What am I doing to minimize those conflicts of interest? Those are all things that I feel really strongly about. So come see me.